Hey, y'all. Welcome back to Glitter Mindset. I am so glad to be here with you. As always, thank you for joining for another episode. Let's dive right in because this is one of my favorite topics. So, as you read on the title, this is the number one thing I think that all entrepreneurs should be doing. And it's something that a lot of entrepreneurs are missing. And it is crucial for your success, for your growth. Okay. So the number one thing you need to be doing is networking. Now stop. Before you turn this episode off, stick around because you may be approaching networking all wrong or thinking the wrong thing about networking completely. So stick with me. If you just got like a pit in your stomach and you're like, did I really just hit play on this? But I promise you, if you want to be growing, you need to be growing your network always. And listen, I know a thing or two about networking. Okay. I have spent 17 years building my network. And I know you're shocked. You're like, how could you be old enough to have done this for 17 years? I know it's crazy. But this network that I have built and that I have curated over almost 2 decades, which is nuts to say, this network has followed me through all the different seasons of being a corporate recruiter, a wardrobe stylist, a bottle service girl, a club promoter, a brick and mortar owner, you name it. I have built a know-like trust factor with them that is something that is so important to me. And that's network turned into clients, customers, collaborators, friends, sponsors, and has also helped me get to tables I wouldn't have been able to get to otherwise. I've been a speaker at their events. I've introduced them to people they needed to know. They introduced me to people that I needed to know. They've referred me and have cheered me on every time I go do something new, right? And I have taught hundreds of women how to network intentionally and successfully with lots of feedback that this way is a game changer. Okay. And plus, I founded a networking group like a decade ago that, of course, recently sold. But in that 10 years, we grew to thousands of members nationwide. And through this network, we have moved tens of millions of dollars between members because networking is a revenue generating activity. I've designed my own networking event experience and hosted hundreds of networking events in so many different cities. So when I tell you that I know networking is the key to your success and your business success, I know what I'm talking about. So just buckle up. All right. Let's take a moment to really erase everything that you think you know about networking from your brain, okay? Because I know when I said networking, we all have this visualization of like the stale coffee and the bro dudes and all of that. So erase it, clear that out. No bro dudes, no business cards shoved in your face. Wipe out that idea of that competitive energy and the sales pitches. That is not what we are talking about today. Okay, so now that your brain is clear, let's talk about what networking is. Networking is building your network. Whoa, simple, huh? Networking is not sales. It's not marketing. It's not hustling people. Okay. Networking is building your network of power players and building long-term, mutually beneficial relationships. Now, notice I said mutually beneficial. Not, I'm looking to shove our business cards in someone's face and make it all about me, me, me. Notice I said long-term relationships, not just people that fit into your current season. Remember what I just said? My network has followed me through many different past lives, ventures, and projects. Notice I said power players, not your ideal clients. You are not networking with people you want to buy from you. Okay. That is not the intention of networking. You are networking with your ideal people, your ideal partners, collaborators, and peers. Because guess what? Nurture those relationships, show up for them in powerful ways. They are going to speak your name in rooms of opportunities and introduce you to your ideal clients, people you can share referrals with and feel confident that this is an even exchange. That is who we are networking with. So let's break it down on how you're going to create this power network. First, we are going to identify who our people are. Now, again, not our ideal clients. So don't be thinking of that avatar and all of that, but the people that we want to rock with and do business with and do life with. Okay. Ask yourself if you are going to craft up a dream inner circle, like looking at the type of magic you want to create in the world and the people that you want to surround yourself with, really think, who are your power partners and collaborators that you need to be aligned with? Tap into their heads, tap into their energy. What types of things are important to them? What lights them up? What is attracting you to them? What is attracting them to you? Okay, these are all important things to really know when we are getting into the minds of our people. So when I'm thinking of my people, right, my power partners, I am looking for creatives. I'm looking for people who are really passionate about disrupting systems, creating change, being thought leaders, and dreaming up new ways to create an impact. These are people who don't just sit on the sidelines and complain, but really back up their words with actions. I want to find people running networking events, conferences, the ones that host podcasts, our coaches, mentors, artists, people that are going to provide value and opportunities to those that are already tapped into my network, and those that I know that I can provide value to. I know if you are in my circle, I can get people to you. Things that are important to them are the things that are important to me: personal development, equitable opportunities, being generous, having integrity, being anti-racist. I know that my referral partners must be anti-racist, right? They can't be freaking bigots, because I don't want to refer you. And if you are like that, you definitely won't be a good fit for my people. And I don't want to even be introduced to the people that you hang out with. And I'm not bringing you around my network, my clients, my members. So this is one of the things I say, like, really be so clear about who your people are and who your people definitely aren't. And when you think you've gone really deep with the answers, go even deeper. So if I'm going deeper, I also know that my people are into art and music and hip hop and fashion and environment, and have crude humor, and are people of color, probably queers, and we're labeled the underdogs. They support local businesses. They vote with their dollars instead of focusing only on the instant gratification of major corporations. They put their money where their mouth is. They walk the walk. They show up audacious and loud, and they don't mind cussing. Okay. Getting into the heads of my people is going to help me with the next really important step: finding what rooms they are in. And whenever I say get yourself into the room or finding the rooms, this is both the physical rooms as well as virtual rooms, which I think virtual rooms, social media, online groups, Zoom calls, all of that. But right now we're going to kind of focus on the physical rooms. That is easy to visualize. So now, what rooms are they in? When we are thinking about our people, think of the things that would attract them. Or sometimes it's easier to think of where they definitely are not hanging out and go from there. So I know my people are not at Bro Dude City. They're just not. I know because my people are more seasoned entrepreneurs. They are not at things like Young Professionals or Spaces for Corporate America. Okay, so I can rule that out. When you are thinking about networking, and the rooms, quote unquote, networking events are not the only rooms your people are in. You are missing prime opportunities to network with and rub elbows with your people by only attending events that are specifically curated for that. And in my experience, there are very few events that are focused on networking specifically that are built in an intentional way and worth your time. Think outside of just the events that are labeled networking. Think of the other spaces that your people would be hanging out in besides just those networking events. Again, you got to think like them. So I'm thinking like my people. My people are interested in personal development. I'm going to find them in masterminds. I'm going to meet them at conferences. I'm going to see them in coaching programs. I'm going to see them at speaking events and engagements, right? A lot of my network has come from spaces where we were learning or getting coached together, because that is a value that we both share. And I know that we're going to hit it off. Okay. If your people are religious, maybe you're going to find them at Bible studies. My people are spiritual, so I'll probably find them at moon circles and Reiki retreats and sound baths and things like that. If I know my people are artists, creatives, stylists, where am I going to find them? At art openings and galas. If I know my people are making real change, I'm probably going to find them by sitting next to them at a table at a fundraising event, right? I have made a lot of friends and connections buying those fundraiser tickets and sitting next to new people at a table. And I know we're sharing the same values, we're sharing the same excitement about whatever that fundraiser is representing. My people support local. I know this. So I'm going to a grand opening event of a small business, right? I I can make anything into networking event. I have met some of my people on a boat, at the pool in Vegas, at a Tupperware party, at drag bingo. Okay, come on, y'all. But the key to making any event an opportunity to network is to get intentional. Because remember, when we are networking, we are building relationships. We are not going in to pitch or sell. We are creating engaging conversations. So I always say, take that sales hat off and put that relationship hat on, the buddy buddy hat on, the hat where you give a shit about the people that you are going to connect with and you're not looking them as like clients or dollars. So before you enter that room, let's really think this through. Get intentional, tap in. This is the number one question I ask my clients, all my clients. What do you want to be known for? How do you want to be remembered? And if you are being honest with yourself, are your intentions aligned with your actions? Okay. Because nothing matters about branding and marketing and all of that if this isn't clear. How people remember you and what they know you as is your brand and legacy. And first impressions are everything. So, how are we about to walk in? Having run and attended hundreds of events, I can tell you that most people don't walk in intentionally. I would say 75% of them, if not 90. They aren't checking their energy. They're not really getting into that networking relationship building mode. They're not asking themselves what the goal or the intention of that room is. So really think, how do I want people to feel when they walk away from interacting with me? How do I want people to think of me when I leave that room or table? It seems simple, but I see people that are either standing against the wall, they're not smiling, they're not interested in connecting with anyone there, or they're just not really making people feel good. Like, what's the point of going if you're going to act like snotty or uninterested or just kick it with the same people the whole night, right? So I think, how can I provide value and leave with new connections? Aria, think, who is in this room and who do I need to connect with before I walk out of this door? If you have felt like you've gone to an event that your dream people were in and you left with nothing, really reflect on how you moved through that room, how you engaged, and how you gave people your attention. What energy did you bring to that space? How did you show up? Were you confident? Did you own the room knowing that you were the baddest to be there and show up like you are welcome? We know people like that, right? You know someone like that. You just visualized somebody that when they walk in the room, everybody turns around and stares, right? And everyone is like, oh, I have to talk to them. You need to tap into that version of yourself before walking in. So you've identified your people, you've identified where they are. You walk in the room and float it around and everyone's jaw dropped, right? And now you are face to face with someone that you want to collaborate with or know. So what do we do? First of all, do not lead with what you do. It is always better to build your name than to build the name of the current biz or project you are working on now. I'll say that again. It is always better for you to build your name than build the name of the current biz or project you are working on right now. I walk in as Aria fucking Leighty, okay? I don't walk in as the mob girl. I don't walk in as that one podcast host. I don't walk in as a coach. I walk in as Aria Leighty, my full, complete self. Unless you're asked to give an elevator pitch, fuck an elevator pitch. Elevator pitches were designed for the corporate world when you only had a few seconds to capture the C-suite big suits attention, okay? It doesn't work. They're outdated. If someone says, hey, Aria, do they want me to say, hi, I help creative entrepreneurs and visionaries maximize their impact, income, and influence. They'd be like, okay, all right. And I know we've been taught this, right? And yes, know your key points that you would answer if someone asks you a question, but don't scream your freaking tagline in their face and shove a business card down their throat. This is not what that's about. This is a relationship. And like I said, I know that this has been modeled, but because we know most of the people that are in that room are self-serving or not thinking of the relationship piece, unless they worked with me, if they don't see value in the thing you are trying to sell them, they're going to gloss over, right? They probably aren't even listening to you and your elevator pitch because they are too busy practicing their pitch, right? So, what are you going to do instead to make sure that they remember you? You are going to ask them about themselves. People love to talk about themselves, they love it. Okay. It's their favorite thing to do. So, ask questions and practice active listening. Not listening to respond, but really to get to know this person. You are finding out if this person is a great power player, right? If you guys are a great match, if you guys are a good fit. When you are talking to someone, you are treating like that person in front of you, that person that has your attention is the most important person in that room. You don't see anyone else. You don't want to know anyone else but them. They are the most important VIP in that space because in that moment they are. Okay. So we're going to ask questions and really focus on their answers. Oh, wow. Amanda, that is so great. You make jewelry? Wow. What inspired you to do that? That is so fascinating. How long have you been doing this? This work is stunning. Now, Amanda just talked to other people where they treated her as a sales target, right? Who were they going to remember out of everyone? Mrs. Elevator Pitch over there or the amazing contact who really just seemed interested and engaged in the convo? My secret that works every time after this is you provide value. You have a second to show what you bring to the table and to make sure that you are locked and loaded in their brain. You want to make sure Amanda remembers you and has a reason to contact you again. So what I would do in this situation is, Amanda, my friend was just looking for a new jewelry designer to carry in her boutique. I should totally introduce you guys. Shoot me a DM on Instagram, okay? Now, what I have shown to Amanda is I'm a need to know person. I have connections, baby. And that's what I want to be known for, right? When I'm thinking, what do I want to be known for and how do I want to be remembered? It's that I'm a tapped in person. I am the most networked person that you know. That is my brand. And I'm also showing insight of what it is like to work with me, to rock with me, to know me. Okay. B, I'm serving my network. And I think of them when I am in any rooms without them, which is something that's important to me. And I listened to her and I gave a shit about her success. So I just modeled all of that to Amanda. The other thing I did was I made sure to capture the follow-up combo before she walked away by having a DM in my inbox, right? Like DM me so that I can remember that I need to connect you guys when I get home or tomorrow morning. By having that DM in my inbox, I now have a reason to follow up and I'm going to remember her when I get home because let's face it, we all get home and we're like, who the hell was that awesome jewelry designer? If you can remember to do one better, take photos, take selfies, take boomerangs, and tag them later. That is one more touch to create that bond and a little bonus. If they share it, you got in front of their audience too. And if you made a great impact, they're going to be like, wow, I met the coolest person today. I shared a glass of wine with this chick named Aria and she was so amazing and I can't wait to see her again, right? So now people are going to be like, oh, I need to know this person. Now, these longer conversations and interactions take up more time for sure. Yes. But I would rather walk away with one new nurtured connection and a follow-up than a purse full of business cards. I would rather make a solid impact on only one person's life and business than to meet a bunch of people that I won't remember and will never remember my name. Quality over quantity always. Now, I'm going to end this here because I could talk about this all freaking day. In fact, I could talk about it on days on end, which is why I turned my 90-minute masterclass into a 6-week program, which I am now adding even more to. And this is just one of the pieces we discuss and dive into show up to go up. We talk about this in such a more expansive way and then learn how to use these concepts in social media and online spaces and all of that. Intentional networking is just one of the important keys to show up to go up. We also talk about getting press, mentions, features, invitations to the rooms that you want to be in. And we are launching this bad boy even bigger way in October. And this up level is freaking everything. Okay. You do not want to miss this. So check out the show notes for the link to join the waiting list. And of course, I will be hopping on this podcast to share way more tips about showing up, taking up space, owning that room, and expanding your network. So Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you have some takeaways. Let me know what you thought, and please share this podcast with a friend. And if you wouldn't mind leaving me a little review so I can continue to expand my network. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you next week.